mic.
Thank you. First order of business is the invocation and the pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Charles Otto.
If you'd all pray with me or pray silently or a moment of silence. Lord, thank you for the opportunity to meet here this evening to do the work we have been entrusted by our residents to do. May we all reflect on the privilege we have to gather peacefully and without fear. Let us remember the sacrifice of so many of our compatriots and friends who sacrificed all to afford us this blessing. Our armed forces, our first responders, our fellow citizens, in wartime and in peacetime. And may we always remember their families who bore the pain of their sacrifice. Let us honor their memory with civility and respect for each other, especially as we meet this evening. Let the thoughts and words of everyone present in this room reflect what you expect of us. Help us make wise and fair decisions. We thank you for the many blessings you have bestowed on our community, among them our staff and all who work for Fayette County, on whom we depend and without whom our residents could not be served. We humbly ask that you continue to bless our nation and our county, and may we always remember that our service does not begin nor end in these chambers, but continues each moment of every day. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please stand.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So first item, Anita, are you going to do us the honors?
Move to approve the agenda.
I'm sorry. Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. So we got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All
Anita.
right, gentlemen, we are here to do a recognition of our youth baseball teams that were selected. We have some individuals that's here, and we'll go over these gentlemen here in a minute, but I want to let you know that, we go through the regular baseball season. After the season's over, then they select all-star teams. And all the all-star players, they should be rewarded and recognized for all their hard work and determination and all their skills that they have possessed throughout the year. They worked really hard to become a better player, a better teammate, and so they were selected because of their dedication and their hard work to be on the all-star team. So we had 3 of the all-star teams that advanced on to the state tournament. These 3 teams were the 10 and under, which you see these gentlemen right here, the 12 and under, and the 14 and under. All of these 3 teams won no, they didn't win. They got second place at the state tournament, so they were eligible to go on to the World Series, and all 3 teams went to a World Series. I first want to talk about the 14 and under team and the 12 and under teams. They stayed in-house. They played at the Training Legends World Series and played very hard, represented Fayette County well, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention that they did a great job at their respective tournaments. But tonight we wanted to recognize the 10 and under team. And guys, if y'all will come on up front, I want the audience to be able to see your smiling faces. If y'all just make you a line right there, that'd be great. And then do an about face so that the audience can see your faces.
There you go.
That's okay. Team Mom take care of them.
Okay, these special gentlemen, they are played on the 10 and under team, and they went on to Baton Rouge. They played in the USSSA World Series in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They had to raise funds to go out there so that they could participate. They went in the 1st of July to the tournament. Before they actually competed in the tournament, they did a couple of other things. They had a team competition, and I believe, if I heard correctly, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that y'all secured second place in the team-based speed race. Is that correct? All right, congratulations. We got some fast gentlemen here. All right, in addition to that, Each of the players, I believe, participated in individual competitions. Is that right? Yes? Okay, and we had some gentlemen that I'd like to, if you will, just raise your hat and kind of recognize who you are. Mr. Driscoll, I believe you were the champion, if I heard correctly, of the 9 and 0 and under Golden Arm. Good job, congratulations. All right, Mr. Duffy. Mr. Duffy, he was the 10 and under Golden Arm, okay? And then last but not least, Mr. Snelling Jr. He secured the runner-up in the 9 and under fastest man competition, correct? Okay, good job, gentlemen. As far as the World Series tournament, they went on and played in that, and they secured the 5th place award for their bracket. So congratulations, gentlemen. Y'all did an outstanding job. You represented Fayette County proudly. Coaches, I appreciate your time and your commitment to these young men. Parents, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for what you do, making sure the kids get here and that you, get them to the places that they need to be. Team Mom, I think you were around somewhere. I know I saw you lining them up and all that. So I know what hard work that is, being the team mom as well. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, team, for what you did this year, and congratulations on your accomplishments.
Need to get in there and get a picture.
Okay, I'm gonna call 2 of our rec commissioners up because they
Sure.
wanted to also, 3 of our rec commissioners, they wanted to congratulate the team as well.
Okay. Oh, great. Don't get closer, parents. This is not the time not to be obnoxious. Get up there. All right. Thank you, guys.
Those are some fun days. Enjoy every one of them. Fun times.
No. If we did, I wouldn't call it.
So the next item on the agenda is public comment. Speakers will be given a 5-minute maximum time limit to speak before the Board of Commissioners about various topics, issues, and concerns. Speakers must direct comments to the board. Responses are reserved at the discretion of the board. Are there those in the audience that'd like to come and make public comments tonight? Certainly. If you'd please state your name and tell us your address, that would be appreciated for the record.
Hey, I'm Diana Dietz, and I live in Fayette County, and I filled out one of these forms.
Thank you.
All right. How are you guys doing? Good. You should have 2 pieces of paper. These 2? Okay. Good. So what I'm here to do is request that you adopt an ordinance banning commercial crypto mining in Fayette County. And what you've got on one of the papers is 2 QR codes that will link you directly to news coverage that is about a town in North Carolina and their story about crypto mining. And rather than bore you guys with facts and statistics, I'm going to play one of those videos now, which we can't see, but I was told it'd be fine to play through the microphone so everybody can hear.
Sure.
Okay. Hopefully the tech will work. Uh-oh, of course not. Okay, who wants to help me with my iPhone? Oh, there, it finally went. Try again.
This crypto mine here in Murphy serves as a symbolic warning for leaders in every western North Carolina county outside of Cherokee County where this is. These fans and computers were 24/7 as locals tell how it all unfolded. A disaster to our whole community.
When they first started putting it in, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal.
Mike Lukowitz has since left his nearby home.
I think there's money involved, that's the problem.
Tom Lash and his wife Rebecca moved from Atlanta 15 years ago to buy their dream property.
We found this nice house that we really loved. We bought it and made the move.
This is our country. Marinda Woody, an attorney, grew up in these mountains.
We're free here.
Dan Eichenbaum has served as a Cherokee County Commissioner for years.
You have the right to do what you want on your own property.
And while that might sound like a good thing, with this latest twist, county officials say that involves a company called Exponential Digital setting up in the middle of a field, it's been anything but.
The noise is really very loud.
At night, it gets really still, the air gets really humid, and the sound carries like crazy. That's not really what I would call fair shake.
Locals who live nearby know their property values will take a hit. Their computers run constantly, searching for high-tech codes that's a way to make millions in the Bitcoin world. The machines have earned a reputation as huge power eaters with the potential to impact the power grid since they use so much electricity to operate. We asked to speak to the company's management, based in California as well as in our region, but haven't heard back. Eichenbaum acknowledges the owners of the company farm have been an indifferent neighbor.
They really didn't do their due diligence. Am I going to be creating a problem?
But is it due diligence, or is it just, I don't care, and I'm going to set up this crypto mine? Because that's what it certainly looks like for the folks that have to live with us.
Well, in a sense, you might say that.
They're just in it to make a buck? Marinda, the attorney, has been watching one county over. She's Clay County's attorney, and with the blessing of commissioners, drew up a new ordinance that bans this.
No commercial crypto mining industry.
The county used its planning board to develop the rule. Her advice?
Get an upper hand on it before it gets upper hand on you.
We reached out to leaders in counties across the mountains. So far, just Buncombe County is working on an actual ban. Rutherford County leaders say they haven't had any complaints, but as folks in Cherokee County can attest, waiting can be too late.
We cannot do anything about the existing crypto mines.
Cherokee County has two other crypto mines, one by a power substation, another in this building owned by another encryption search company that's put in sound barriers.
No one complains about them because they know how to control the noise.
Cherokee County is working on an ordinance to make sure this crypto mine is their last. For those stuck with the computers churning next door, even though the owner has put in some exterior barriers, it is still loud, and they hope their story resonates for folks to contact county leaders before it's too late.
Try to stop it before it happens. Know the dangers that are involved.
In Cherokee County, in Murphy, Kimberly King.
Okay, thank you for your
Alrighty.
comments. We appreciate you. Thank you, Diana. Are there others that would like to make comments? Yes.
Let it come forward. All my information is here. A little recap. Kudos to the new director of the shelter. Her programs to transparency and positive changes. Hiring her was the only good idea you had last year. I'm all too aware without pushback from the animal advocates, the previous incompetent interim director would still be in charge. Kudos also to the huge army of dedicated volunteers keeping operation afloat and going. People of this community realized that you certainly can't be counted on. We needed to step in, step up, and make it happen. Do we have input in decisions? No. Each morning and afternoon, every dog is walked, freeing staff to clean and pursue other duties.
2 volunteers maintain an extensive schedule, run orientation, and participate heavily in walking dogs as well. The bleach brigade during the parvo outbreak consisted mainly of volunteers strapping on heavy bleach water tank with manual pumps. What a workout. To disinfect the outside, every pen, walkway, parking lot, as long as it took, all day long. Where were you in all of this? We medically foster canine and feline neonates at home to keep them alive and safe until a rescue pulls them. We use own funds for dog evaluation, since you put that asinine rule in place that if a dog breaks the skin, it's rescue only or death. Whoever imposed this rule clearly has no clue about dogs, fear or stress behavior, and should sit down and this one out. Volunteers take care of the overflowing cat room, which still has not seen any change. Cats are still housed in something reminiscent of a walk-in freezer, and Phase 2 has no mention of any reasonable upgrade. Have you ever walked into a small enclosure with overflowing litter boxes? The powerful aroma makes your eyes water and brings the weak to their knees. It takes hours to clean, feed, and socialize them. So in essence, without volunteers and community coming together, your shelter would be dead in the water, and you do well remembering that, if you give a damn. I could continue, but I would have no time to address the new budget obtained through Lynn's ORR. Contrary to other statements, info pooled did not add to the shelter's workload. Tamika Smith, a Fayette County employee, copied and emailed a couple of pages against payment, of course. We all know your beautiful big horse barn with all the accoutrements draws over $1 million from road maintenance and stormwater blast. A big-ass barn, of course, requires a new big-ass truck to the tune of $70,000 to pull the new big-ass horse trailer for that elusive horse for over...
Excuse me, is there any way I could keep the language a little bit more civil?
Yeah, stop cursing.
I don't, we hear you every time you get up, just nice and we're
we
listening.
can do that. Adding another 88 plus. Another pricey line item are seminars, dues, lodging, meals, mileage for staff training for about $18,500. Fair enough, staff works hard, and if seminars also bring about a bit of retreat flair, I'm all for it. Low supplies are budgeted for $16,000, and medical service AMC at another $26,200, which seems low given the current vet costs, even at a reduced rate for the shelter. Ready for the kicker? Meal supplies for a year for all animals in the shelter, $1,500. Let that sink in. That's 6 cents a day for 2 meals per animal. With my MBA, I can budget on a shoestring, but not this. This math is definitely not mathing. So we see pleas for food donations on a regular basis. Mr. Absent states correctly, shelter doesn't beg for food. Advocates do. Funds are supposedly available to order food. These are semantics. Plain and simple. If you had a recurring food order from Chewy, your $1,500 would last how long? You claim that the animals actually are getting a little chunky. They certainly do not get chunky on 6 cents a day, but on solicited donations. Claiming that the funds left over because of donations are being used towards medical costs, it's only an attempt to whitewash a dubious practice. It's a small amount, and at today's vet costs won't get you far. At one point, even the most helpful and generous public will feel taken advantage of and duped. I'm sure the community can come together and feel good through other means besides funding the food supply for the shelter. That is your job. Up the budget for that. And your statement about sharing donations with FHS...
Your time's up.
Thank you. Thank you for your time
Okay.
and your comments. Are there others that would like to speak during public comment?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm George Steets, husband to Diana, and I also filled out one of these, so you have my
Thank you.
address. I wanted to also add to what my wife was talking about. I support the idea of legislation to restrict crypto mining. One of the biggest impacts that a number of communities have concern about is we have limited resources as far as the water and electricity. One of the impacts that's seen down the road that people are not aware of is you end up vying for these services. Right now, if you go down Ginger Cake Road, you can look and see on Graves Road where the data center that we have is impacting hundreds and hundreds of homes, decreasing value to bring power to these areas. My suggestion would be that if y'all have not been there, you need to do that, because with the data centers coming, Georgia Power has said that they are planning on adding another 1,000 miles of transmission lines in the state of Georgia. If you were to have these crypto mines coming in, they're going to be competing for the electricity. Georgia Power is a for-profit company. You can't tell me that when you go down Graves Road and you're looking at what they have done to a community, they have basically taken a neighborhood and converted it into an easement. If we have additional crypto mining, it's going to be worse. And they're going to be competing for the electricity and resources that other industry is going to be looking for. Fayette County is a wealthy county. Our unemployment rate is 3%. We don't need the crypto mining. We have all the infrastructure that we need and is in place. As these companies come in, all you have is negative comments from people who are impacted. And you could say, well, they didn't come to the meetings, they didn't know stuff. Well, the problem is that with a lot of the stuff like the data centers and the crypto mines, people don't even know what questions to ask. It's almost like if you think back when you had your first child and the doctor said, if you have questions, ask. Well, you don't even know what to ask until you have your second child. My suggestion would be that you enact legislation to curb, control, and to keep it from coming in before the representatives start approaching you and you have to sign non-disclosure agreements. If you have to sign an NDA, this can't be good for the community. If you're unsure if it's something what the community wants, put it on a local ballot. Ask people what they think. I run into people all the time who drive by the QTS data center and they are horrified by it. They're even more horrified when I say that one giant building you see is one of 10 or 11 that is going to be in that place. It is not what Fayette County needs to be. Please be proactive and look at it and say, okay, is this what Fayette County needs? Is this what we want? Let's do the right thing. You are representing the voters. You're not representing business. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, George. Are there others that would like to make comments at this time? Yes.
Yes, my name is Michael Holt, disabled vet. I live at 1019 New Hope Road, Fayetteville. I'm also against the data mining and all that, but my reasons is, I guess you could say, just like when the baseball team, the kids were here, right? Once you open that door, you can't close it, okay? The destruction of nature, the destruction of this beautiful county, you can't get it back. I'm next door to a monster, so I know firsthand, okay? And, you know, another thing what I want to say is, you know, while y'all are thinking about this and everything, let's just think about zoning rights, zoning. Are y'all going to ask the community or put it to a vote in zoning laws? Because I, for one, never got when y'all switch the zoning laws next to me. So are you going to do it again? I'm just saying, you know, if you're going to do something right, let's do it out front in front of everybody, not behind closed doors, okay? If you're going to switch the rules, let everybody know that you're switching them, so people can have a voice in it. Not just because one company has more money and can pay you more, regardless of what the future holds for your kids, your grandkids, and everything else, all right? Because all that comes into play too. When you're talking about data mining, building battery farms, doing all this other stuff, what you're doing behind scenes, what you're not talking about. I just want things to be transparent, okay? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Are there others who would like to make comments at this time? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here. My name is Jennifer Barber. I've lived in North Fayette County for 25 years, and I've been extremely proud and thankful in many ways for living here. And I have always hoped I could remain here and continue to be proud and thankful. But I've been very concerned about what I've been hearing more recently, and I am in favor of a referendum to stop the crypto mining. And I have a very busy, challenging life, so I have not prepared a speech. I have barely thought about this, and fortunately, I'm friends and neighbors with Diana and George, and they've graciously tried to keep me in the loop as much as possible. I have no time to study and research much at all unless it's absolutely necessary for myself or my 2 jobs that I have. So this is not, I'm praying it'll come out correctly, but this is in no way to preach to anybody in this room or to sound like I'm sharing a sermon. But I have a full life and a rich life, but many people may wonder how I could say that. And I have to share with you just a little bit, and this is not about me. This is a testimony of a lot of wisdom I've acquired from nothing that I did, nothing I thought I'd be living, the life that I thought I'd be living, but the life that I eventually, after several years of survival mode, that I continue in, that I have been able to say, this is the best life ever for me, because I have a new perspective, and I have a testimony, and I have a story that many people don't have. And I was just leaving to come over here because I have Elena back there. She's under my care. That's one of my jobs. And I made time to come here with her, have plans for her today to go somewhere else a little later. So I'm thankful that this worked out. But my life, I have an accounting degree. I went to college. I grew up, with many blessings, had a good life growing up. And then my life started changing, and I faced a lot of crises. My dad committed suicide when I was little, and I grew up with a hardworking, God-loving mother that allowed me to learn about God and right and wrong. And I eventually was married, have 3 adult, beautiful, wonderful daughters. But things continued to change, and I eventually found myself on my own after a traumatic incident in my home that left me on my own. And then soon after, that was 6 months after my mom passed away, soon after I became responsible for 2 older disabled siblings with 2 very different stories. And I was facing a lot, not knowing what to do, but I wanted to face the challenge, and I had a choice. I could neglect my siblings and trust the government and the world to take care of them, or I could take on the care and make sure that they survived and had the best life ever. My sister went through a 20-year traumatic marriage. My brother fell apart. He went to Georgia Tech, graduated, and then he couldn't let go of his addictions. And so they both faced a life of limitations and disabilities and special needs, lots of medication. And I hope you understand there's a reason why I'm sharing this. I continue to have choices. I could think about a career with a 401k and retirement and a different kind of life, or I could say, okay, what is the best choice? What would God want me to do? And I decided it's not about money. God brought me to a place where I could see life and feel secure in Him to say, this is not about money, because I trusted Him. And so I took steps forward, looking away from other goals and other desires and other dreams, And I,
I'm sorry your time is up, but if you'd like to send us an email with the rest of your
Okay.
story, I'd love to hear that.
what I'm saying ultimately is it's not about the money. When you think about true life and true needs and true health,
Yes,
the health of a life and a world, it's not about money.
I get you.
Everything falls into place when you think about ultimate needs of souls
Thank you, Ms.
and
Baldwin.
life,
Thank you.
okay?
Are there others who'd like to come and speak at this time?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yes, and my name is Rich Matthews. I live on Graves Road. I'm one of the people who've run across the data center who's run their electrical cables down my area. But really, I'm here to talk about crypto mining. And I like to say, what benefit will these companies bring to us? They're taking our electrical assets, they're taking our water assets. They're not employing hardly anybody. It's just a server farm. So there'll be about 1 or 2 jobs. Or if not, they'll probably even contract them out to someone else. And they bring no benefit to the county. You people have to make a decision to help improve this county and not bring people in here that are only looking to make money and bring in eyesores with probably using some of these storage containers to store the servers. And you've heard the noise they make, and you've heard their eyesores. We need to look after the benefit of this county, and I'm trusting in you gentlemen to do it. Sir.
Thank you, Rich. Are there others who'd like to make comments at this time? Yes, ma'am.
Keisha Scott, 110 Planters Walk. I don't have one of these pieces of paper. Actually, I just moved here from Johns Creek. One of the reasons I moved down to Fayette County from Fulton County is because of the tranquility of this place. It's very, to me, more natural. When I first moved up to Johns Creek, it was back in 2001. I came down to Georgia from 9/11. I was up there, and I wanted to go to a calmer place. I moved to Dunwoody in 2001, and very quickly that became unbearable. You move from New York to get back into that kind of fast pace moving around. I then moved up north to just before Forsyth County, so to that Johns Creek area. It was just like Fayetteville is now. And within 7 years, it is now more reminiscent of the, I don't want to give you guys the terms that we use, but the Gwinnett Mall area, which is just super congested. You can't go anywhere up there within 30 minutes. Johns Creek now is becoming that same type of cluster. I don't want Fayette County to get like that. I really don't. And one thing that I know that a lot of you probably don't is everything about this data center. I've been in technology for 35 years. I have a consulting firm. We've helped corporations move into this online space. I've been in technology back when you've got mail, when that all just started. What we're talking about now are servers, whether it's crypto, whether it's a data center. We're talking about server farms. And for every single server farm, there must minimally be one more, if not 2. Because there's a thing that they have to ensure, and that's called disaster recovery. If something happens to that single server, there must be a redundant server to back up so that we don't lose anything that we're doing online. I tell a lot of folks that are sort of complaining about these data centers that what they're really seeing is the data centers are replacing malls. We have migrated to online everything. So where they used to cut down trees and clear space to put malls, they're now doing that to do what is the mall replacement, which is online, which every online anything needs a server. So the only thing I'm asking you all to do is please, as you're making these decisions, educate yourselves on what's really going on. They're starting to clear spaces here. Where's next? Are they going to continue to move outwards here in Georgia? Are they going to have data centers in other parts of the country? I don't know. But just please educate yourselves on what these servers mean and the devastation they can do to the community. Because once those trees are gone, they're gone. When I moved up to Johns Creek, I had a plethora of wildlife in my backyard. There's none. There were farms, just tons and tons of farms. The street that I was on was a dirt road. It's now in the middle of a city. Please be mindful of what can happen when we don't have any controls around how much growth can occur from technology. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there others that like to make comments at this time?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Robert McMartin. I live here within the city of Fayetteville on Autumn Bend Circle. We moved up 6 years ago from Tallahassee, fairly good-sized city. Fayette County, attractiveness with its rural nature. We've watched it over just the last 6 years become more and more intense, especially going back and forth on 54 and 85 through town. I personally hope that you do a referendum, if that's your wish, to curtail this kind of development. I don't see anything positive about it. The noise, the pollution. I mean, the data center, and now you're going to have the soccer field out there. It's going to be intense getting from here to Peachtree City, which I have a daughter who lives there with 3 grandchildren, and it's already intense. I'm sure you're aware of that. But I can't even imagine people who live, a few miles or 1 mile outside of the city, and then all of a sudden they've got this noisy contraption 24/7, completely destroying their lifestyle. And I don't think Fayette County, as solid as it is, and I'm glad that it is, needs something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Are there others that like to make comments at this time? Seeing none, I close the public comment. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I want to clarify, you have item number 11 written on a document on the dais.
Yes.
It's intended to replace item number 11 on the consent agenda. This agreement came before you 2 meetings ago. There was a conflict in
It's not on the consent agenda.
Pardon
It's
me?
on new business, Dennis.
Oh, I apologize. I got ahead of myself.
That's okay.
Thank you.
So, are there any other comments or questions about the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. So, next item is, I guess, Phil, is this you?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Board. You may remember at the retreat, we talked about several projects that came out of the Safety Action Plan. This intersection at Sandy Creek and Ellison is one of them. We applied for a grant. We are waiting to hear back from that. But in the grant and at the Board's direction at the retreat, we want to proceed with developing the concept to get us prepared if that grant comes in. So this request is to move money from our generic intersection safety improvement bucket and allocate it to this project to do the concept phase.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve the reallocation of $76,390.85 from the 2017 SPLOST number 17 TAG to number 25 TAB.
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Any questions on this?
What's the likelihood of getting the grant, Phil?
I really don't know. I just would be guessing.
Okay.
I get the feeling it was very competitive across the U.S. This was probably the last push for that funding source.
Okay, thanks.
But with this concept work, it puts us in a better position when we get ready to do it, whether we have the grant money or the other funds, correct?
That's exactly it. If we get the grant, we're probably going roundabout, and if we don't, we're going to be ready to go for a lower cost
Yes.
traffic
Okay.
signal or turn lane improvement.
State
federal.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Vanessa? Good
Good
afternoon.
evening. Good afternoon. I have a request to award the annual contract for water distribution and stormwater infrastructure on-call to the low responsive bidder, who was Shockley Plumbing. And the not-to-exceed amount will be determined by each task order submitted through this on-call contract. So every project will have its own task order.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve contract number 2563-B.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Phil, is this back with you again? Okay.
It is. This is another contract award. Each year, the road department and purchasing department get bids to provide, to find an asphalt supplier for the year. They did that for fiscal year 26 and are recommending award of bid 2596B to C.W. Matthews in a not-to-exceed amount of $395,634.
Do we have a motion?
Move to approve award bid 2596B annual asphalt contract to C.W. Matthews.
Second.
So got a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Phil. All
Thank you.
opposed? All right, Dennis. Item 11.
Here
As I was saying, Mr. Chairman, a couple of meetings ago, you had this IG in front of you for resurfacing of a portion of Morgan Mill Road in Brooks, and there was a conflict in the language in paragraph 1 and paragraph 5. Paragraph 1 gave a general number that was going to cost, and if it exceeded that number, they were going to pay the higher number. Paragraph 5 said they're going to pay a cost not to exceed that certain number, so the conflict was obvious. The document before you tonight, which is number 11 on the dais, is that same IGA with that conflict removed. So paragraph 5 does acknowledge that if it exceeds the amount that's been estimated, they'll still pay the higher amount in that event.
Okay. Good. Any other comments or questions on that? All in favor say aye.
I think we have a motion.
I'm
Was there a
sorry.
motion?
Is there a motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, move to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the town of Brooks allowing for the county to resurface Morgan Mill Road.
Second.
So now we got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. I'm glad we got that one out of the way, Dennis. Administrators' reports.
You'll see on the dais the 14 contracts that are part of the annual budget that are line items that I've already approved and the details associated with that. Also sent you a copy of the HOT project update, which is the update for the AMI project, as well as the Parks Recreational Multipurpose Facility, Stars Mill School Tunnel, the Coastline Bridge improvements, the North Bend Culvert replacement, and the QTS traffic signal and guardrail in Tyrone. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Attorneys' reports.
Mr. Chairman, I have 3 items this evening for executive session, one for threat litigation, one pending litigation, and the third is to review your executive session minutes from July 10th, 2025. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Commissioners' reports. Yep. Anything you need?
Couple of things. I didn't have the opportunity to attend the retirement celebration for Eddie in Public Works, so kudos to him and his level of service he's provided for over 40 years to the county, and certainly celebrating to a certain degree back to school, encouraging everybody to be aware of the safety of our children and parents navigating this space. The other thing I wanted to raise, and my colleagues, we don't have to decide tonight, but I'd like staff to begin to look at it, is the use of these, what do you call them, meta glasses? Where you can take pictures and record things on the glasses. You know what it's called? IT man, what is it? Yeah. Yeah. Like for us to look at that because we have people working from home, can record, can take pictures of sensitive documents. I don't know if legal has some thoughts on it. I'd like for us to begin some research on.
Yeah, I think at this point there are no thoughts on it. We will start to research it.
Okay. And then it sounds good to me. And then come back to the board because you can be talking to somebody and they're recording and taking pictures and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm open to looking at the crypto issue. So staff, if that's something you're going to begin to tackle, I'm all ears in terms of just the pros and cons and does it fit with our land use plan. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair, my colleague.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thanks. Today I had the privilege of attending the graduation ceremony for U.S. Army Officer Candidate School Class 6-25. I had a friend's son who received his commission this morning as a second lieutenant in the United States Army, along with 131 other great Americans who have decided to serve their country as officers in the United States Army. And I can tell you it was a great ceremony. It was great to be back at the home of the infantry. And I look forward to see what these young men and women do over the course of their careers. So it was a real privilege to be there. If you've not been to one of these graduation ceremonies at Fort Benning, I encourage you to do it to see the caliber of young men and women who are serving our armed forces. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Phil, there's been a flurry of activity on Facebook and some social media stuff about our tunnel at Redwine, and I think we've done a great job down there. But if you could, this commissioner would really like for us to press forward quickly and with all due speed to get us some mirrors down there because there are some conflicts. Of course, that's not the only place in Peachtree City or the county that has a T intersection that could be problematic, but it's certainly better than at-grade crossings that we've had all in years. So Phil, if you could handle that, and I'd appreciate it. But otherwise, great job to staff, and I love seeing all the grass, and now the people are going through there. So thank you on that. I didn't mean to skip you, Chuck. No. If you could, you okay? Are you okay? Okay. Do I have a motion to go in executive session?
Second.
So got a motion and second. All in favor?